Okay, let's put it back in the vise. We're going to apply light pressure. I don't want to deform this. Got our pickle jar. Got our fine cylinder bore hone, and I'm just going to do light work. Let's reverse this around. Make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Just want to do light work, smoothing the trigger. I don't want to leave any rough edges. When you play one of my harps, I want your hand, your finger to just slide past the trigger, not hang up. But we don't want to take off really any metal because I'm right at where I want to be, right at that B1. So I'm just smoothing with a fine stone where it feels like it's smooth. We don't want to leave any rough edges because rough edges on a reed is just a good place for a crack to begin. We want it to be nice and smooth. Let's see if we're still on tone. Yeah, right there. That's right at about where I want to be. Now my gaps, they can use a little bit of work. I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up just a little bit before moving onward. We ain't done yet. Move this in just a little bit. Tighter gaps. A little bit further inward, then my heat treat's going to take care of all of the rest of that. It's going to close, literally close itself as the stress of the bends. Whenever we bend metal, it stresses it a little bit, and I do a heat treat on it, a tempering of it of sorts, and that releases the stress of the bends and also closes the harp just a bit. Oh, we need to go a little bit tighter than that. I don't want to go all the way tight before my heat treat because then it'll be far too tight once it cools after heat. So I want to go close, but not all the way. Spend all day playing around with this. You can hear it getting louder as my gap's getting tighter. And tomorrow morning, once this comes out of the oven and I do my final adjustments on it, it's going to be pretty loud. My last one I didn't have to do any final adjustments after the oven. I got my gaps exactly perfect to where they wasn't all the way tight, but it was almost tight, and the heat closed them. Yeah, a little bit more playing around. Close the inside of that. Bit too much. Okay. Went all the way tight. Now we'll go a little bit back. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. This is going to be a long video, or I might actually turn this into a whole bunch of different harp building videos. Part 1 through 10 maybe. Well, we're about perfect on one side. The other side got a little bit more to go. Yeah, we got an alignment issue right there. It's hard to see where it is. That's just right there. Come back just a little bit. What you're getting is accurate at what goes into a harp. All this extra alignment. Here we go. Getting closer. Sound isn't sharp yet, but it's not. my gaps are still fairly large. Come in just a little bit more on them. And I want to stop at about 2 papers widths. If we think of a piece of paper in between our reed and our deck, I want to stop about twice that. Hear it get louder as I'm starting to come in, as my gaps start getting truer, they start getting tighter. Come in just a little bit more on the tip of this. Then I'm going to leave it be. I won't be showing heat treat. I won't be showing my tempering, my finishing. That's up to you to figure out. And if I ever come up with a different method for... Oh yeah, there we go. Our gaps are about 2 papers widths now. And it's ready for me to apply my finish. I'm going to first clean this up. Hot water, soap, a rag, really clean it off. Dawn dish soap, get it absolutely clean. And then I'm going to proceed with my finish. My finish is what I put on it to keep it from rusting. After that, I'm going to hand rub it until it's absolutely smooth, and then we're going to do heat treat on it. And I won't tell you exactly how I do my heat treat, but it's a tempering process of sorts. You'll be slowly ramping up your temperature until you come to what's called a cone, and you're going to hold that temperature for a while. Then you're basically going to let it cool overnight. Don't mess with it for 5 to 8 hours, and then I make my final adjustments. Oh yes, another thing, let's check our tuning here. Oh yeah, B1, that's going to be a snappy sounding harp, because the noise we're making right now, that we're starting to get louder, we're starting to get sharper. Come tomorrow, when the gaps close on it and I make my final adjustments, this is going to be a laser sharp sounding harp. But we're going to take it one step further. I stopped by Harbor Freight yesterday, and I'm not advertising for Harbor Freight. I'm not real big on, the big box stores. I try to buy quality tools when I can, but not all the time can I afford that, especially starting out as a harp maker. I went ahead and I bought an engraver. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to write Beb Corp on the back of this. Are we still in focus? Yes, we're still in focus. Yeah, there we go. What I'm going to do is I got an engraver for $8 at Harbor Freight, and eventually I'll probably buy a better engraver, but there's no reason that this one can't use it because it works really good. We are going to engrave B on it. I want people to know, whoever gets this harp, that it's in that tuning. I want it to be labeled. I don't want a sticker on there. I want it to be engraved. And I actually used this engraver last night on all my Blackfire harps. I bought a chromatic set before the festival. They came with stickers, and the stickers, every time I oil them, another sticker comes off. So I went ahead and engraved on the inside. I'm going to take this engraver. We're going to engrave. We're going to make some noise. We're going to engrave a B on there. And then on the back side of it, I'm going to engrave Beb Corp. So you know where it came from. Or I might just use my last name. My last name is Beb, B-E-B-B, and can't nobody spell that name over the phone. Baker Edward, Baker. Got hearing protection on. My wife, for her job, she deals with people's hearing, and she's always after me about taking care of my hearing. And now I really try to take good care of my hearing, because I don't want to be, I'm 33 right now, and I don't want to be a 40 or 50-year-old man who can't hear. So take care of your hearing while you're young so that you can hear when you're old. A little bit tighter. Oh yeah, nice B right on there. They can tell that's the tuning. And especially I want to engrave it on the front, because that's what way the harp's going to be facing up when you look at it on a table. Nobody stores their harps like this. I want it engraved on the front. Now on the back, we're going to put, what are we going to put? We're going to put Beb, and then we'll put, should we put Beb Corp, or should I just put Beb? Maybe I'll put the year that it's made too. A little bit more pressure. I try not to put very much pressure when clamping a harp like this, because I don't want to work the arms. beb on there. I'm going to go ahead and put the year on this it's made so people can tell, you know, if I get famous someday, they can tell at what point in my harp making career that I made this. 2017, this is the first year I started building harps. I started building harps back in January, so this is this is earlier on, but I'm really liking the direction my harps are heading. We're going to put 17 right on this corner. There we go, and I thought about maybe putting 2017, but I'm like, that's extra work, and in 2117, I don't think I'll be making harps. I'll be too old. I'll probably be gone back into the universe. But yeah, here we have Beb engraved on there. We have year it was made, 17. We got the tuning here, B. Now I'm going to take this and put it back on the wire wheel. There's a little bit of roughness after engraving, but I originally tried doing this with a Dremel tool, and it didn't work very good. So definitely engraver, even though it's cheap, it's $8, it's the way to go. So much easier, it writes like a pencil. Let's go ahead and let's get the roughness off here, and then tonight I'll proceed on with tempering the harp, finishing the harp, tempering it. In the morning I'll do my final adjustments, and we'll take a look and run this harp through the paces and see how it performs. But right now that it sounds like this, even with gaps 2 paper widths apart, I can tell this is going to be a performing harp. This is going to be a good harp. My harps in the past, they've ranged anywhere from good, sometimes being excellent, and sometimes being bad or not good players, not good sounders. They're really heading in the direction of quality and a harp. You can hammer a harp with clear tones. Now I'm doing more tuning, and I'm really enjoying harp building, and someday I hope I can get out of it. Right now I'm an HVAC and HVAC foreman, install foreman. I work for an HVAC company doing heating and air. I love doing that, but eventually someday in the future I really would like to get into just making harps, importing harps, selling harps. That's the way I would like to take my life. I've kind of gotten bored with heating and air over the past couple of years. I've been doing it quite a while. And I really want to take my life in a different direction eventually, and I'm hoping that I can afford to do something with music and making harps and still the YouTube channel. And I just love jaw harps so much. I'm obsessed, and I'm rambling. One day, well, a couple days a week I have caffeine. I normally have caffeine in the form of tea. Today I had a coffee, and it's really paid off in filming this because it's a lot of work to build harps, but it's also a lot of work to do videos and all that. Let's just go ahead and we'll move over here. Instead of cutting, we just gonna move. And this is just gonna be a long, multiple parted video. I'm gonna take this to the wire wheel where I have it engraved, smooth it back down, and then we'll touch base tomorrow after all the rest of my work is done. And someday, if I come up with a different method for finishing and tempering harps, or if I stop tempering, I'll give you the details on that. But that's the one part of my harp building I want to keep to myself. Let's go ahead and smooth this burr off here. I really love having a wire wheel. Makes life so simple. I want smooth. I want a harp that not only looks good, but it's comfortable in the hand. Yeah, we can still read that. There's no burr left. Just crank it up a little here. Oh, I've been wearing my dust mask, so I'm getting a little bit hoarse from breathing all this metal dust. There we go. Yeah, that's very readable. And B, yes, that'll work.